Good morning, boys. It is Saturday, and we had a lot going on this week. A lot of stuff going on this week. So I had the Corrado detailed. We got that here, and I want to show you guys what it looks like, all polished up. Finally had some ceramic coating put on it, and then we got a new car. So I want to show you guys, explain myself a little bit, and go from there. Yep, it's an Acura Integra, another one. This one is older and it is a hooptie, but that is the purpose and that is what's gonna be so much fun about this car. I kind of want to show you guys the easy way of doing things. The other Integra is a full-blown race car. Not everybody has the option of doing something like that, and I kind of want to stress that you can get out there for really cheap and get on the track. So I ended up picking this up last week for really cheap. The car itself, $3,000, not that expensive. And as is, if you were somebody who was really on a budget, you could just track this car the way that it came. I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do and explain to you, why I'm doing it. And there's not a whole lot. We're gonna just get this car out on the track and have a lot of fun this week. Okay, so I'm excited about this car. I know it's not even that pretty, but it is a $3,000 car. Can't really complain. So front bumper, not painted, whatever, cracked. Gonna be replacing this, but we're gonna start doing this stuff slowly and as I can find the parts. I already got a set of 2000 headlights, which do not work. Well, you can put them in, but they look a little weird. And then I'm gonna be getting a 2000 front end just because I think that bumper is nicer. Plus it's actually a little bit easier to find them. And then I'll either have that painted or hopefully I could just try to find one already painted black. You can see I already put the Advan wheels on. These were for the silver car, but the silver car actually outgrew this setup. It can still run it, but to be super competitive, a lot of the guys are running 17s. And some big boy 17s too, like 1710 on the front, which we'll see. Not gonna be there just yet. But got a B18, the guy maintained it pretty well. It does have a brand new Exetti stage 1 clutch. It's got a header and an exhaust, painted valve cover, whatever. But other than that, it really was untouched, which is kind of what I was looking for. I didn't want a wiring mess. I didn't want to take apart somebody's half, built car on the cheap. Some of the stuff's not all that ideal on it. It does have some really old coilovers on it. It does have some no name. Maybe they're named, I don't know, but they have some aluminum lower control arms, which I'll keep on there for right now because again, we're trying to do this on the cheap, just go out and have some fun. But I do have a set of the K-Tune circuit coilovers that the silver car is actually outgrown, and just gonna throw those on here for safety purposes. But you could ideally just run what's on the car. Just put the car on a lift or jacks, whatever you have, jack stands, and just make sure everything is good. Bushings are not blown out completely. If they are, just replace them. You don't even have to go crazy. The car is essentially stock, and you can get away with using some stock stuff. And there's so many bushing kits and so many things and options with Acuras and Hondas, which is why I went this route. Take a look inside. The car is pretty plain. It has a completely stock tan 96 interior. It's actually, not that bad. Aside from the tear in the bolster, the back seat is actually in pretty good shape. Again, completely stock besides just a botched head unit, and it looks like somebody just did a cheap speaker wire. It doesn't matter because that's not something that I'm gonna do, but I can assure you guys, that is not how you wanna run wires in a car. It's got a hideous Type R wing that is not a real one, and it's not on there very well. And it's got, I believe it's just like an eBay or no-name exhaust. But it runs, it drives, it's healthy-ish. We'll see, we're gonna find out, honestly, on Wednesday how this goes. But we're gonna change all the fluids, we're gonna change the suspension. I do have a Willwood front brake kit that I'm gonna put on. You don't need to do that because, again, you have a stock power plant. It doesn't even have any serious modifications to the point where you would, you know, be pushing your brakes. You're gonna be pushing them because it's stock, but you could definitely get away with this, which is great. Now, this is what the car came on. It came on Honda Fit wheels, which is actually awesome because, as you know, I have a Honda Fit and it's got Volks on it right now. And I'd rather be using a daily driver on Honda Fit wheels instead of Volks. So I think we're gonna throw the Volks on here for the street driving, and then I'll just throw these 15s on once we get to the track. And because it's a little aggressive to drive to the track on these tires and wheels, and you don't want to wear out the tires either. So I'm pretty stoked on this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I have that Sparco Sprint seat up there. You can see the red one. I ordered a new bracket. We're going to get that in the car. So we're going to have a good seat in the car. We're going to have new suspension, brakes, and then we're going to kind of go through everything else. Oh, the only other thing that I'm going to do is I am going to find some motor mounts. I found some on Marketplace, but I just don't know if I'm gonna have time to drive all the way out to grab them. I'd rather just go to one place and pick up. I think I'm gonna try to get just whatever aftermarket mounts I could get. Obviously, Hasport's ideal, but again, we're trying to stay here on a budget, so we might go with something a little bit cheaper, throw them in there, and just go have a blast. But it kind of feels like the mounts are shot, and it's just time to replace. So not too difficult to do. We'll replace out the motor mounts, get the new ones in there, and just go have fun. So this week, Monday, I'm gonna be doing another video, all the replacements of all the stuff that's on here that we're gonna be doing, which is really just suspension and brakes, and the motor mounts and the seat. But other than that, we're good. So we're still, you know, gonna be on the cheap here because I have all these parts. They're just kind of laying around, and you could find a cheap racing seat on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, whatever. The Sprint seat's really not that much. It was a few $100s. I think it's like 350 bucks maybe. The bracket was 180, and I have a slider for it just so for ease of use. But other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna be doing all the work on it, getting this thing ready for Wednesday, and then Wednesday, we're gonna take this to the track and have a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.